Hi. Hi everyone. Okay, we're working. Good afternoon, and my name is Allison, and I'm one of the youth leaders with Providence Student Union.
Hi everyone, my name is Jalen.
I'm also part of the Providence Student Union, and I'm the cultural and arts director. Oh. Thank you all for being thank you all for being here with us today at City Hall and helping us and being here for our rally and food justice for SNAP benefits. We're here today because food is not a privilege, it's a right. We're standing together to demand that our government fully funds SNAP benefits and prioritizes our community needs over unnecessary spending. Throughout today's rallies, you'll hear stories from youth directly impacted by food insecurity and by budget decisions that leave our community struggling. You'll also hear from community leaders who are fighting for real change here in Rhode Island. And before we get started, make sure to visit our mutual aid tents and resource tables behind you. We've got information from a lot of different organizations and community support networks. And without further ado, let's get started with our first speaker, who is passionate about making sure every voice is heard and every person has what they need to strive. Please join me in welcoming Subriel Contreras Cotto, a youth leader from Providence Student Union, who will be sharing a personal impact statement about how food insecurity and funding cuts affect our community.
I have watched my mother work more than one job to support me and my sister. She has to work all day and all night just to pay bills. Then having nothing left for me and my sister, coming home at 12, working her butt off just to get money. Food stamps made it easier for us to buy food. Now my mom still works 2 jobs and still comes home late sometimes. My mom works an hour out of Providence just to support 2 kids. Now since the cuts to food stamps, we will have less access to food, and I'm worried about having to choose food over the table or to choose bills. And now I think about how much a cart of food costs, almost $300 to $400. That's more than just one arm and one leg. That's a life just to give to get food, just to support for your kids. And I try not to worry myself about bills because I am young. I am just a student, but I get worried when my mom can't pay a bill on time or we're late on rent, because I don't want to see my sister without a roof over her head or a room to sleep in. And I don't want to see a mother who feels depressed and sad and she feels like she's a failure just because she couldn't take care of 2 kids when she has no support for herself. And for a federal government that says they prioritize human life, why do they make it harder for us to support ourselves and to support our children? As 39% of SNAP recipients are children younger than the age of 18.
Manuel Granados, another amazing PSU leader, sharing a personal story on behalf of an anonymous teen who has been affected by federal government shutdown and SNAP cuts. Please give it up for Manuel.
Thank you. Good afternoon to everyone who has decided to spend their Saturday afternoon with us. You could have chosen to be anywhere else, but here you are with us, giving a voice to those who are in need. As my peer said, my name is Manuel Urizar. I'm a member of the leadership team at the Providence Student Union, and currently I'm a senior at Hope High School. Like it has been said, I will be sharing the anonymous experience of someone that I know. Growing up with a single mother and seeing the constant struggle it took for her to bring food to our table every day was an experience that did not fill our home with joy. Over time, grocery prices have just been growing and growing, reaching very high prices, making life significantly more difficult at times, especially considering those mothers like mine who have to provide for multiple children. For this sole reason, I've been grateful to receive SNAP benefits for the past years. My younger brother is an autistic nonverbal 7-year-old who is very picky when it comes to the textures of his food. Receiving SNAP benefits assisted us in finding him foods that he would actually enjoy and eat. This got a huge weight off my mother's shoulders and helped with leaving some money off to the side to pay for other necessities like rent, clothing, and sometimes special treats for us throughout the month. Now that food stamps and other sustenance programs are being under threat by our current government, my mother has started working longer shifts to make up for that assistance. As of now, she has been working 6 days a week, consisting of 8 to 10-hour shifts. This month, my family received $91 in benefits, which in my perspective is still a blessing as there are many families that will receive nothing at all. Families and their children should not have to struggle to find what to eat. Parents should not have to feel like they are not working hard enough. Instead, food should be easily accessible because food is a human right and nobody should be denied access to it. Lastly, I would like to remind everyone to search and look for resources that are at hand in our community and share them with those who need them. Thank you so much for your time and attention, everyone. Stand strong and always remember that if under pressure, snap back. Thank you.
Thank you, Team Manuel. And up next, we welcome Janelle, a youth leader with PSU who will share her personal experience on behalf of another teen in our community whose story deserves to be heard.
On the behalf of the other students, they said, the SNAP cut has harmed my family greatly. My mother is a single mother who has been struggling to make ends meet on a number of things. And now we have to add covering food one of them. Something we have been promised assistance on. It pains me to see my mom and many other people with backgrounds like mine struggle as well because of this. Thank you.
Thank you, Janelle. That was very sweet. And now our next speaker is someone you have already met, Allison, who will be sharing her own personal story about food insecurity and what drives her to fight for food justice today.
Hi everyone, I'm Allison. You've already heard of me, and I'm a junior at Classical. And I moved here when I was 3 years old from Ecuador, a very small country to the smallest state that we have. My parents arrived here and were very hard workers. They worked to keep us all together because me and my sister were still too little. We arrived here with not much and everything felt new. We had new cities, new schools, and new routines that we had to follow, and it was really tough on all of us. One thing that helped us get through that time was SNAP. It made sure we had food on the table when everything else felt really, really unstable. It wasn't about luxury, it was about just having enough, which is a very common misconception that a lot of people have now, that SNAP is just giving people a reason not to work. But my mom worked very hard. It gave my mom time to find a steady work and help us focus on getting our feet on the ground instead of worrying about every single meal. Now, my mom technically makes above the SNAP margins, but that doesn't mean that things are suddenly easy. Groceries are still expensive, payments are still high, and even though we are above the line, we still struggle sometimes. SNAP worked the way it's supposed to. It helped us stop struggling and get back up, which is why programs like these are so important. They don't create open dependence, they create stability. Everyone deserves the same chance to not have to choose between eating and surviving. So when we talk about funding SNAP, we're talking about funding people's futures, families like mine and families like yours. We're proof that when community gets what they need, we rise. Thank you.
Alright, so those speeches went pretty quick, but that is A-okay. Those stories were really powerful.
Oh, close it closer to the
Your stories
mic.
like that coming from teens ourselves.
Oh no, the mic. Just hold it closer to your mouth.
Oh, sorry. Can y'all hear me? I'm sorry, I talk a little low sometimes.
Yeah.
Let's take a second to breathe all those personal stories in. It can get a little emotional when you're hearing stories, especially from teens our age, talking about how these affect us, especially when you're a friend talking for somebody else. So, we're going to take a short break. You guys can continue to just stay in the area, get some resources if you can. We're going to continue playing our music, and yeah.
During the break, our PSU youth team will be walking around collecting personal stories and experiences from community members. If you've got something to share, maybe about food access, housing, or what's really going on in your neighborhood, we'd love to hear it.
And don't be afraid to share anything personal. We're trying to get just like information from others just to feel like how they feel about this situation as well. And we're not going to grade you on this. It's just for yourself. So yeah.
And also don't forget to stop by our mutual aid and resource tents. You can pick up supplies and connect with our local organizations and find out how to get involved in the work that's happening right here in Providence. And yeah.
That's it for now.
Hi everyone, thank you for coming back. Woo.
I have bags.
Thank you for coming back, and we're so excited to have everyone back here and continue listening from more of our youth speakers. And as our next person, please help us welcome Christopher A. Garcia Diaz from ARISE, the Alliance of Rhode Island Southeast Asians for Education. Christopher is a powerful youth advocate working to ensure that Southeast Asian immigrants families across RI have access to resources they deserve.
Hello everybody, my name is Christopher Alexander Garcia Diaz. I'm a senior at Central High School and a youth leader with ARISE. I'm standing here today because I'm sick. I'm sick and tired of how things have been going and how the government has been playing in our faces, making families like mine and others struggle. Due to the national government shutdown, the government has decided to cut SNAP benefits. Many states fought back to get SNAP fully funded again, but what the government is doing is cruel. This is cruel towards every mother, every child, and every person who has to depend on SNAP to survive. This is a direct attack on me, my mother, my baby brother, and all of us who are forced to fight twice as hard to get half as much. The government is simply choosing who gets to eat and who doesn't. They are protecting billionaires while families like mine barely scrape by. I was raised by my mom alone. She's everything to me. And she has worked herself to the bone in order to make ends meet. She has worked herself to the bone just to make ends meet, just to support me and my little brother so we can survive. SNAP helped. These inhumane decisions made by politicians are harming black and brown communities the most. And if you aren't struggling now, you will be. Because our system is built to starve all of us just to cater to the wealthy. You can't tell me the system is fair. You can't tell me that in the land of the free, this country's so rich, we have no choice but to work so hard and allow ourselves to be exploited. We constantly have to choose between getting bills paid or putting a proper meal on the table. And we're supposed to just lie down and take this? We're supposed to stay quiet and starve? No, we won't. We can't. Not only that, but we will not starve in silence. We will not let them dehumanize us while pretending it's fiscal responsibility. And we are not a statistic. We will show them that we are people. And it's crazy that we must fight so hard just to be seen as such. We are this country's backbone. We are deserving of that recognition. And we shouldn't be begging for the bare minimum. We shouldn't have to suffer for crumbs. This system was built to starve us and we can't keep pretending it's normal. We're opening our eyes to it. We see what's going on and we aren't going to stay victims. So today I'll speak for every person who has to wait in the pantry line with their heads down defeated. For every mother who skipped dinner so her kids could eat. And for every kid who's ever gone to sleep hungry and wondered why the world forgot about them. To the people who think they can smother us, we don't need your permission to survive. We will rally, we will march, and we will speak louder for our rights. It is a human right for us to have access to food, and this isn't political. It's a matter of life or death, and we will fight until we can no longer, and we will win. This didn't start with SNAP cuts, but if we don't stop it here, they'll take more. They'll take our housing, they'll take our education, our healthcare, and they'll take everything that gives us people a chance in this country if we let them. We must fight. Our flames burn too bright to be put out, and I won't stop until we can secure a future where no one needs to beg just to eat. Where every child can dream of a future they want, because that's what we deserve. I demand those in power to invest in our communities and listen to our needs. Thank you.
If we got a bigger applause, please. That was amazing. That was really, really good. Chris, good job. I'm so proud of you. Next up is Kingsley Dye, another inspiring youth leader from PSU. Kingsley will be sharing a personal analysis and reflection on how state budget priorities impact young people across Rhode Island. Applause, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here. So today, we represent Providence political respondents, diverse community, and/or the residual of Rhode Island politicians reflecting the humanitarianism of this fight. Whether you were someone with houselessness, working against increasing rent, or someone with single parents and independently providing, maintaining for your family, or someone of the foster care system, having the comfort of family filtered by systemic intervention, or an immigrant being suppressed by the abuse device, which insinuates the support of assimilation and discriminatory ideas. Whether you do it or not depends on EBT. This financial resource supports the community, and as the province community expresses awareness of systemic pressure, politicians such as David Morales, who in 2023 proposed plus $95 per month to SNAP benefits to offset dependence on the COVID benefit boost, or Valerie Lawrence, who in 2024 proposed the Eat Well, Be Well pilot program, proposing up to plus $25 a month to SNAP credits for households dependent on the subsidies benefits, and Judge McConnell, who actively fought in the court against the inhumane nature of these cuts, can reflect the people. While all these actions are underscored as proposals, instating a financially sustainable program disrupts the deep-rooted white supremacy which has been reinforced throughout history and influences the system we live in today. So I want to urge how our politicians are excavating deep into the foundation of this nation to make our state a platform that can capacitate these sustainable programs they propose. And today we see the federal government falter under the Trump administration through the government shutdown. So today, again, as the context of our lives converge on one equitable cause, I want to let you all know this is equitable work, as these actions put an emphasis on morality and the humanity of the people. Thank you.
Everyone give it up for Kingsley. He did great. And now it's time to hear from, again, my co-MC, someone you've met, Jalen, who will be sharing a personal impact statement about what food justice and mutual aid means in her own life.
Hi everybody! I'm probably going to stutter just a little bit. I do get nervous when I speak in front of people, even though I've done it several times. But I first want to highlight that I have been reliable on SNAP my entire life. Ever since I've lived in New York, I was born and raised for 7 years, and I moved to Rhode Island 8 years ago. SNAP has kind of been my source of food for like forever. I get food from everywhere. I get food from SNAP. I also get
Respect. No disrespect. I'm putting it down.
I'm sorry guys, I lost track of what I was saying. But basically, I rely on SNAP. My entire life I've been relying on it. Food prices have gotten way more expensive than they usually have, and sometimes when I don't even have enough money to put, well, my mom doesn't have enough money to put on the table, we always have to ask family members for food. There is my house consists of 5 people. Normally, my older sibling likes to come over and she chills with her partner all the time. So it's hard to kind of feed a family of 5 with such little SNAP benefits, especially since food is getting more and more expensive because of inflation. It's hard to sit in my house and think that, oh, my mom didn't eat today because she doesn't want to waste so much money on SNAP. And honestly, it makes me a little emotional because I work, but I can't make enough money to help my mother with anything. And oftentimes when I can, it makes me emotional because she gets emotional herself that she has to sit back and watch her 16-year-old daughter pay for bills. And I don't think any parent wants to sit there and let that happen.
No.
But that's just that's kind of my opinion on it. I really don't think that SNAP cuts are reasonable, especially because Chris said earlier, I lost my train of thought again. Sorry, guys.
Excuse me. Let her talk. Excuse me. Let her talk.
I lost my train of thought. I apologize. But like I said about how food isn't kind of everywhere for everybody, I'm going to talk about food insecurities. Not a lot of families can get food even with SNAP, and then even then food pantries aren't getting enough food anymore because of these SNAP cuts and because of budget cuts. And it's hard to see that when people go to food pantries, by the time they get to anything, there's nothing left for them to have. And families also, they work a lot. They work all the time, and even then, paycheck to paycheck, there's not enough money for them to put food on the table. And it's also hard for people to get SNAP too. Like, so many times I've heard from people that they try to apply for SNAP, but they keep getting rejected. And then,
they say you make too much money when you yes, you're right. You're so right. They say you make $25 an hour. Excuse me. Get mad at you. Can you move on? You understand?
Sorry guys, I get
being disrespectful.
Families don't get enough money paycheck to paycheck. It's hard for them to put food on the table. And even then, there's not, like I said, with food inflation and budgets getting cut and food getting more and more hard to obtain, it's hard for families to even use SNAP because sometimes, even within a week, they use half of their SNAP benefits. As of right now, Rhode Island is the only known state that have their SNAP benefits back, but it's not coming federally, it's coming from the state itself. And all we know for the most part is that inflation keeps happening. SNAP benefits aren't going to have the most effects that we want it to have, but yeah.
Thank you to Jalen for bringing that up. And while I still have all your attention here, I want to bring up something really important that I think not a lot of people know. But the thing is that you guys are all part of the change. You guys can all do something. And I understand that a lot of the time when we hear about these issues, we think it doesn't impact us. We think, okay, we don't even have SNAP, it's fine. Like, we're gonna get by this, it's no big deal. But all of you can help. All of you. I used to work at a food pantry when I was like 13, and I worked there for about 2 years. And while working there, we saw a lot of young people who would come by and offer their volunteer hours, I don't know, but they'd offer their support and they'd give help to us. They'd bring us food. You guys can give donations. It doesn't have to be big, it can be small, but just anything really in times like these can really impact and help all of us. And I think that's really important. Even if you can't give money, giving a few hours out of your day to help in a food pantry when they're swarmed, especially in times like these, is just really helpful. And I hope all of you know that you all have a say in this and you can all do something. Thank you. Okay, we're gonna take a minute before we do our closing. So thank you everyone who again came around to talk and listen to all of us again. We'll be back. Welcome David Morales, State Representative and Mayoral Candidate for Providence!
Thank you so much, my friends. Let's give another round of applause and share that good energy with our Providence youth that are leading the way. Because neighbors, we have seen over the last several months the constant attacks coming down from the federal government as they try to starve our neighbors, as they try to kidnap and detain our community members. But yet and still, we're not giving up hope, because community is all we got. We are all that we got. And it is the power and the strength of our neighbors coming together to organize food drives, being able to put together free and hot meals to guarantee all of our neighbors, regardless of immigration status, regardless of socioeconomic background, are going to get the most basic necessities and be fed. And this happens because community looks out for one another. And so to every person here who has donated to their local food pantry, who has helped cook a warm meal for someone in need, and has taken the time to check in with our friends, with our classmates, during a time period where mental health is constantly being attacked. Thank you. And to be clear, this in of itself, the community strength, is what pulls us together and what allows us to move forward. But I want to be absolutely clear, this in of itself is not going to be sustainable. We need to guarantee that our government is going to have our backs at the local level, starting here at City Hall and going towards the State House. Because I want to be absolutely clear, we could have guaranteed full SNAP benefits for every Rhode Islander had we had a governor that was willing to put forward emergency funding from the $330 million that already exists in our rainy day fund. We could have guaranteed full SNAP benefits all across the board. And we know that these attacks from the Trump regime is not going to stop. And so I will be working this upcoming year alongside all of you to guarantee that we're using state funds to fund SNAP, to make sure no one loses their Medicaid, to guarantee that our neighbors, our immigrant communities are not feeling constantly under threat and under attack. But this is only going to happen when we collectively go through the motions of mutual aid, but in addition to that, show up and have our voices heard. We need to guarantee that the governor's office, that the representatives, that our senators, that our mayors recognize that during this time of crisis, it is an emergency. These are the times that we use emergency funds that we have stored away. These are the times that we act on behalf of our neighbors whose voices are being silenced because they're being forced to work 2 to 3 jobs to be able to make ends meet. So to all of our young people, thank you for leading the way and for telling us as adults and decision makers what it is that we should be focused on and pushing forward. So I just want to reiterate, this in of itself is a movement. It is a movement of working people, but most importantly, a movement of young people that recognize that the system in of itself is broken, and it is going to be up to us to be able to push on a new system that prioritizes the needs of all of us. So again, to our young people, thank you for organizing this very important rally to be able to draw attention to issues that otherwise would simply be ignored. Because together we're going to guarantee that all of our neighbors are taken care of. Thank you.
Thank you to David for speaking with us today. Where's Jayla? Oh, hey. It's just posing.
Oh, again, let's give a round of applause for all of our speakers today, pretty please.
And let's also give a big round of applause to everyone who made this rally possible. This is what community looks like. People coming together to demand accountability and take care of each other. So we're so thankful for all of you. Anyways, thank you everyone for being here with us. Yeah, that's the end. Stick around, we've still got stuff in our mutual aid tents. Please go check that out. Get everything you need.